Hey YouTube, T-Holtz here. We're taking a look at my Pearl Grammy, one of my male Pearl Grammys that I have in my 29-gallon planted tank. And if there's a nicer freshwater fish, a prettier freshwater fish than these Pearl Grammys, I'm not really sure what it would be. I know some of the discus can be stunning, but this is a beautiful fish. You can see his red coloration on his underbelly, the pearl looking markings on his body, even on the filaments of his anal fin. He's really a beautiful looking fish. I have another male in here who isn't quite as colored up as this one. He's close, but he's not quite as colored up as this one. This one is probably the dominant male. And then there is a female right there in the back. Can't see her right now, hid behind these plants. And the other male is back there too. There's the other male. This one is nice looking too, but doesn't quite have the same coloration as the first one that we just saw. But certainly a nice looking fish. This one here has a little bit more of the red coloration. Let's see, we'll zoom out. Sorry for the shakiness of the camera work here. We'll zoom out and we'll take a look at the whole tank. 29-gallon planted tank with those 3 Pearl Grammys, a Kissing Grammy. I think this one is a Sunset Grammy right there. Down on the bottom we have some Corydoras paleatus, or peppered cory cats, and a panda cory. Just fed them a little while ago, so they're searching for some food there on the bottom. Well, there's the food right there. The Kissing Grammy found it. It's all right there in the corner. And on this side of the tank, we have these small fish. They're very small, not much bigger than neon tetras, maybe a little bit bigger. They are Praecox rainbows. They're very small, don't have their full coloration yet. There's 6 of them. I have 3 males, 3 females. Trying to grow them out in here to get them to get their adult colors. I've only had them about a week, and they are doing very well. But this is what a Praecox rainbow looks like before they mature and get their full-on coloration. Like I said, they're very tiny. You really can't tell from looking at them on this picture, but slightly bigger than neon tetras they are right about now. Almost Fry I purchased them at, but I got them at a good price. Hopefully they'll grow up and be nice Praecox tetras. This tank here, mostly Anubias. Java fern, lots of Java fern. Regular narrow leaf Java fern here on this wood, and a big clump right now of Java fern Windelove. That certainly has grown quite a bit in the 6 months or so it's been in this tank. Grown more than the other Java fern has. And water sprite, I just took out a huge amount of water sprite a couple days ago when I did my last water change, and as you can see, there's a huge amount in here again. Well, this is what I left. I didn't take it all out, I left that in. See, it's growing above the surface. I put some redwood floaters in here because the tank and pump below this was completely covered. with redwood floaters, and I hated to throw them out, and I did throw out a lot because the tank was just covered in redwood floaters, and I threw out a bucket full of plants my last water change. This water sprite and the redwood floaters, which killed me to throw the redwood floaters away. But I just had so many, and they were completely covering this tank here on the bottom. Couldn't see in the tank at all. So hopefully they'll grow back, and I'll have them again. I mean, they were sticking out of the water like 2 or 3 inches. There were so many growing on top of each other, but it was completely blocking the light in that tank. So it was definitely time to take them out. I wasn't thrilled about doing it, but hopefully they'll grow back and they'll look as good as they did before. Here's an Amazon sword plant I have growing in a pot. This is a dirted pot. A little bit of dirt on the bottom and gravel to cap it. Since this is an inert substrate in this tank, I wouldn't be able to grow this Amazon sword if it wasn't in some kind of a fertilized area, so I put it in dirt. And eventually it'll outgrow this little pot here and won't have enough dirt in it. Probably in a few months I'll take it out and maybe re-dirt it to give it some fresh dirt, get the nutrients back. Here's my kissing Grammy that I've had in this tank for quite a few years, probably I'm gonna say 5 or 6 years. Stayed small. I've seen kissing Grammys get, I mean, huge, almost 10 or 12 inches. This one has stayed very small in this tank, but is very healthy, as you can see. You see the Corydoras Paleatus, or peppered cories, all 3 of them there in the shot. And the one panda cory. I have very low pH in my tanks, and I bought some panda cories last week and Julie cories, and I bought 6 of them actually, and 5 of them died. The only one that lived is this one panda cory you see here. So this week I bought the peppered cories, and I acclimated them slower. And instead of an hour of acclimation, I did a drip acclimation. Actually, I didn't drip. I was pouring water into the bag with a cup. Probably took me about 2 hours and 15 minutes to acclimate these cories. And they have seemed to acclimate very well. As you can see, they're eating. Got them yesterday, and they look very good. I think that's the key next time I buy fish, which won't be anytime soon, but I think that's the key. Very long acclimation process, since they're going from water in the pet store that's about 7 pH, which is what it was. I tested the bag water before I started acclimating. It was about 7, and my water is probably around 6.2, 6.4. So a slow acclimation process was the way to go, and they seem to be doing quite well. This tank gets weekly water changes. I take out about 5 to 7 gallons a week. We're running a Night Crew LED light, which grows these plants very well. Night Crew makes it's a Chinese light, very inexpensive, and is growing these plants very well. And a discontinued filter, which is a shame that the Hot Magnum filter was discontinued from Marineland. It really is a good filter, especially for a 29 gallon or a 29 or a 20 gallon tank. It really is a good filter, but they discontinued the Hot Magnums a few years back. And you see the female pearl Grammy and the male that we were looking at to start this video. They're A beautiful fish, in my opinion. All right, we'll zoom out. My 29-gallon planted tank. Thanks for watching.